Our top story tonight, your safety on Mid-South roads. This weekend, new regulations are going into place to curb accidents involving truck drivers. Good evening, I'm Ursula Madden. The new rules of the road will go into effect tomorrow. Action News 5's Tony McNary joins us now live along I-40 with more on efforts to put the brakes on fatigue accidents. Tony, good evening.
Hello, Ursula. The U.S. Department of Transportation says the new rules will save 75 lives and prevent about 1,300 fatigue-related crashes every year. But some truckers I talked with today here along Interstate 40 say the new laws could cause wholesale prices to go up and could cause a possible strike. Sheldon Owens drives a big rig for a living. Owens says several truckers are not happy about the new hours of service rules, which will force drivers to sleep an extra 2 hours.
It's going to be pretty much a headache change, to get used to. Especially driving 11 hours. A lot of drivers will not be able to drive 11 hours straight.
The U.S. Department of Transportation says the new law will cut down on more than 4,900 truck-related accidents. Some truckers don't think so. These truckers have parked temporarily for some gas and a little rest and relaxation. But there's talk across the airways about parking these big rigs permanently when the new law takes effect on Sunday. Any truckers talking about striking? Some truckers are worried the new law will cut into their paychecks.
Some of the drivers are, say, drive 3,000 miles a week. With the new rule, it may get them back down to 25, 2,700 miles a week. And with losing that a few miles, it hurts the driver in a pay.
Owen says he will know in about a month how the new law will affect his pay. After that, he says he'll decide if he needs to look for a new career. And several of the truckers that I talked with along Interstate 40 on the CB radio today said they may have to bend the rules in order to maintain the same lifestyle they're used to once the new rules become effective, and that's tomorrow. Reporting live along Interstate 40, Tony McNary, Action News 5.
All right, Tony, thank you. A road improvement project is underway in South Memphis. TDOT broke ground this morning on Shelby Drive for a plan to create safer conditions for drivers in the residential neighborhood. The project will focus on the area between Harvest Knoll Road and Hacks Cross. Well, the struggle between City Mayor Willie Harrington and one city councilman is likely to continue right up until a council vote on Tuesday. Councilman E.C. Jones says he may vote against the nomination of Daryl Eldred for director of the General Services Division. Eldred has been serving as deputy director, but a recent criminal investigation into the activities in that department has Jones skeptical.
Concerning that audit, there's been allegations about material missing, employees doing some things that probably they shouldn't be doing out there. Well, I want to find out what this gentleman has been doing.
Jones says if the report sheds a bad light on Eldred, he'll vote against the mayor's nomination. New at 10, a Tennessee man who stripped his clothes off and ran around a Chattanooga street died as police were trying to dress him and take him into custody. Leslie Prater lost consciousness during the scuffle last night. The incident is under investigation by the police department's Internal Affairs Division. Officials hope an autopsy will determine what motivated Prater's actions and caused his death. Officers on the scene said they called an ambulance before Prater lost consciousness because something was obviously wrong. We've seen a few scattered showers so far this evening. How many more showers are on the way? Let's check in with Tim Van Horn for our first look at the forecast. Hi, Tim.
Hey, good evening, Ursula. Hello, everyone. Well, around Memphis, they're starting to settle down a little bit. We did see a few showers. In fact, let's look at the Viper mode of pinpoint Doppler radar. And indeed, they did begin over the southern half and migrate to the east-northeast. We saw just a trace here at TV5 now. We're seeing some in extreme northeastern Arkansas and northeastern Mississippi County, right at the Missouri border. Also through Dyer County, seeing some across as well, heading into Chester County and Madison County. It's all pushing again off to the east-northeast. You can see around the city again some stray sprinkles, especially around Tunica County, also pushing to the northeast towards Lafayette County around Oxford as well. But again, these are basically light showers. Other than these areas of yellow, where there are some steadier showers, but again, not expecting anything severe out of it tonight. Just some warm temperatures. What will these warm temperatures mean for tomorrow and these continued rain chances? And what about these temperatures? When is it going to change? I'll have details coming up in just a few moments in Pinpoint 5 weather.
A Mid-South Guard unit is joining in the war against terror. Members of the 1171st Army National Guard Millington Detachment left for duty today. Family members held up signs like this one that says, "God bless America and Daddy too," to show their support. For people like Amber Grazer and her family, the separation will be a tough one.
It's not easy. We'll be married 2 months on the 8th. And although I'm very proud and honored to have my husband serving our country, it's not easy to have him leave and have the kids here, and it's really shaky. But I'm very proud of all these guys.
The unit left for Fort Stewart, Georgia this morning. An Energy Department spokesperson confirms about 200 keys to protected areas at the Y-12 nuclear weapons plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee are missing. Department of Energy spokesperson Steve Wyatt says keys are missing from the Y-12 plant, but none that would grant access to nuclear material. As a result, at least 2 minimum security buildings have since been rekeyed.
I can't get into specifics regarding Y-12. I can say that that we are working very closely with the contractor to ensure that the keys are managed properly. The bottom line to us is that both sensitive information and the nuclear materials are being stored properly.
According to Wyatt, the Department of Energy has become very concerned about questionable practices inside the lab. Next at 10, a small fortune could be waiting for you. Still ahead, find out if a share of $35 million belongs to you. Plus, stranded at sea, find out why a dream vacation ended as a nightmare for hundreds of passengers headed to the Amazon. And the Grizzlies try to conjure up a little magic in the pyramid against Orlando. Could they pull a win out of their hats? Highlights still ahead.
This is coverage you count on. Action News 5 at 10.
New tonight, millions of unclaimed dollars are out there, and part of it could be yours. The Tennessee Treasury Department says more than $35 million in unclaimed property belongs to state residents. Every year, businesses across the country search their records for accounts where refunds are owed, but the recipients can't be found. There's no deadline for claiming the money. You can find out if your name is on the list by logging on to our website at WMC-TV.com. A dream cruise turned into a nightmare for 800 passengers on board the Olympia Voyager. They were expected to tour the Amazon, but instead they ended up stranded at sea. Here's what happened. Royal Olympic Cruise Line says the subsidiary company that actually owns the ship filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And with millions in unpaid loans involved, the Olympia has been restricted to calls at U.S. ports only. That left hundreds of passengers on board stranded off St. Thomas for days, never making it to their destination. Lionel Tate, the Florida teen sentenced to life for killing a 6-year-old playmate, may soon be out of prison. An attorney for Tate's mother says the now 16-year-old will sign papers tomorrow accepting a plea deal that will clear his release from prison. Just last month, the Florida Appeals Court threw out Tate's murder conviction and sentence, saying the boy's mental competency should have been tested before trial. Tate killed his playmate while he says he was imitating a wrestling move he saw on television. The Grizzlies managed to bring a little magic of their own to the court tonight. We'll have the highlights, plus new benefits to patients most at risk to have a stroke. Find out what's in the works to help keep you and your loved ones healthy.
Chopper 5, first on the scene. First with the facts.
Air wing has landed in the middle of the street.
Closer, clearer, faster. Catch a view of the news you can't see anywhere else.
Gigantic plane shooting at
Traffic backup on purpose.
2 cars slammed head-on.
First on the scene, first with the facts. Action News and Chopper 5. Now that's coverage you count on.
Thanks to to advances in modern medicine, your life expectancy keeps getting longer. But the longer you live, the more chance you have to develop certain diseases like atrial fibrillation. Now, a new device may prevent strokes in many patients.
I had my first heart attack and stroke when I was 30 years old.
69-year-old Darlene Brookman treats her heart trouble just like an opponent in a game of cards. An opponent she's going to conquer.
I just like to beat everybody.
Darlene is winning, but for years she was nearly dealt losing hands in the form of heart attacks. They left her with a condition called atrial fibrillation. It's an electrical disturbance that causes her heart to beat irregularly and very fast. Blood can pool, form into clots, migrate into the bloodstream, and cause a stroke.
20.
For years, Darlene had to take blood-thinning medication. She hated that.
I can show you why. It makes you bleed easier.
But Darlene isn't taking those drugs anymore because she was the first person in the U.S. to get a new device that may prevent strokes from happening. It works like a filter, just like this sink filter prevents debris from flowing into the pipes. The new device may prevent clots from flowing into your bloodstream.
It's a gigantic change, and will be, in terms of how we treat and manage patients with atrial fibrillation.
Dr. David Holmes and his team place a catheter in the part of the heart where blood pools called the left atrial appendage. Once there, he deploys the umbrella-shaped device. The filter blocks clots and eventually seals off the appendage, which is a part of the heart that you don't need. No more clots means a reduced risk of stroke. And now Darlene can concentrate more on her game and less on her health. For Medical Edge, I'm Vivian Williams.
Well, Tim Van Horn back with us now, and unusually warm temperatures that we're seeing here in January.
You might say that, 22 above normal for a high today, a couple of degrees off of the record. So it was a nice day out there.
Some showers?
Some showers now, and more on the way, too. Yeah, pinpoint Doppler radar. I do want to show you across the 80-mile view. There are some over northwest Tennessee. That's the primary area. We'll zoom in a little bit closer and show you exactly where those are. Over Dyer County now, some steadier showers in first weather. Showed that they were right at the Mississippi River. They're continuing to push to the east, northeast, seeing some in northern Lauderdale County as well, pushing around Alamo and Murray City, and then into Gibson County as well. On our neighborhood network, how much rainfall passed through northeastern Arkansas? 4/100ths of an inch of rain in Blytheville since midnight. 69 degrees the high, 64 right now here at TV5. 68 degrees, winds are out of the south, southwest, and they are fairly light at this time, but I expect them to pick up later on this evening. On our SATRAD this evening, we look across the Mid-South. There are those showers that blossomed and pushed over the southern half of the viewing area and made their way to the east, northeast, and it looks like they'll continue to push through. And there are some more showers forming, and they'll continue to push across overnight. We'll call it scattered showers, but again, not looking for much in rainfall amounts or in intensity for that matter. Current imagery shows that front that's been hanging out for the last 3 to 4 days is eventually going to make its way through, slowly but surely sagging to the south. Behind it, some very cold air. This area of pink here, you see mixed precipitation. For us, though, all of this rain should be swept out of here before we even see any worries about that. In fact, even when it sweeps through, temperatures are going to be cold, but they're not going to be so cold where we have to drop the snow word on you. So here's a futurecast, the first of 2 futurecasts coming up, as a matter of fact. That rainfall picked up very well by futurecast. Scattered showers for tomorrow and cloudy skies, maybe a hint of sunshine here and there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get overly excited about. Again, temperatures going to be holding about what they have been the last couple of days, upper 60s to around 70 degrees. In fact, let's talk about temperatures. We'll put futurecast into motion. Overnight lows. This is the 60-degree color right through here, 60s for everybody overnight. You can see where the front is, where the temperatures change into the 50s, then the 40s, then the 30s. Watch as we get through the day. Temperatures actually begin to warm up from the 60s into the low 70s for most folks in the Mid-South. And we've actually we'll show that in your 7-day forecast, too. It will be reflected there. And then we get into, by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, you see we fall through the 50s very quickly, and then falling through the 40s. And here come the 30s overnight. So we go from near 70 into the 30s, so get your Kleenex ready. The nasal passages are going to be tripping out tomorrow, as they say. Overnight lows in the low 60s, and overnight low here in the city, 63. Cloudy, some scattered showers. Winds out of the south at 20 later tonight, and gusting, shifting to the southwest. 70 for a high for tomorrow, and your 7-day forecast. 70 on Sunday, but Monday, 44 on Monday and Tuesday for highs. Highs staying in the upper 40s to around 50, which is actually normal for this time of year, and overnight lows in the 30s and into 20s. Yes, I actually did say tripping, but that is not a technical term. That was just a foul up by yours truly. We'll say your nasal passages could get messed up over the next couple of days.
Tim's weather